I feel like I've loved my wife even more deeply since she became disabled. I, F36, have been with my gorgeous wife, F36, for almost 13 years. She's the center of my world, and the sweetest, kindest, strongest, most amazing person. Unfortunately, about 4 years ago, she sustained horrible injuries in a freak accident and has been very unwell ever since. I don't want to go into detail as this isn't the point, but a lot of her internal organs in her digestive and reproductive systems were damaged and some have been removed. She has a spinal injury and some nerve damage. Her right leg was crushed and broken in so many places it's now shorter than her left, full of rods and pins, and she's honestly lucky to still have it. Both of her hips have been surgically reconstructed. She's been in and out of hospital for so many operations, treatments, and illnesses. She's been in an induced coma, on dialysis while her kidneys recovered, had a period where she was bedridden at home, become an ambulatory wheelchair user. She once had an infection so bad it really looked like I was going to lose her. I could go on. She's had a pretty tough time after surgery this past week, so I feel like while I've been caring for her, I've been extra aware of how precious she is to me. We've both been in therapy since her initial injuries and are doing okay psychologically. Despite everything, my wife has stayed a surprisingly happy person. She really doesn't deserve any of her pain or discomfort, but she stays so positive/optimistic even though she'd have every right to be bitter. Disclaimer, she's human, of course she grieves and has periods of anger, sadness, and frustration. We both do. Even though I'm obviously not happy she's injured/disabled, I'm often very grateful that I'm able to care for her. Like I would much rather be looking after her when she's at her absolute sickest, change her surgical dressings, clean up her vomit, deal with all her medication and medical equipment, stay up with her for nights on end, than be widowed, which was a very real possibility multiple times. I'm not going to pretend it isn't taxing at points, especially when she's completely dependent on me post-op, or that I don't worry about her a lot, but she has at no point been a burden, and honestly, some of my happiest memories with her have taken place in the past few years. I cannot describe the joy and pride I felt when she took her first steps when she was relearning how to walk, and pretty much threw herself into my arms. I don't think I've ever felt as content as I do on quiet afternoons when she's feeling comfortable but tired, so she lies with her head in my lap on the sofa. We've both said to each other that despite the circumstances, it's nice that we're able to take life at a slower pace where we're able to spend time together doing things like reading together that we never used to have time for. Also, I feel, for both of us, the best thing to come out of this is realizing how much comfort we're able to provide each other. Like, my wife and I have always been physically affectionate with stuff like cuddling, playing with each other's hair, massages, etc. But I suppose I didn't quite intellectually realize how much of a difference it made to have each other close until she became disabled. I feel so tender and protective towards her, like more than I thought a person could feel, to have seen her actually go from crying and disorientated right after surgery, for instance, to comfortable and sleepy in a matter of minutes just because I started stroking her head. On the same note, I remember that she was once in surgery for 16 hours and I was so anxious in the waiting room, but as soon as I was sitting in recovery with my darling and she started holding and stroking my hand while she woke up, all my worry immediately went away. Even though I do have to do so many practical things for her now, like bathing her, helping dress her, etc., she still feels like my equal. We share household responsibilities, especially as she regains skills and strength, talk about pretty much everything. She makes me laugh so often and is also so good at making me feel heard and giving advice. I can't believe I used to take some of this for granted. I feel so much more present for every moment with her now and get genuine enjoyment out of little things like doing the dishes together. We're so lucky to live in a country with amazing healthcare and insurance, have a supportive circle of friends that really look after us both, and have jobs where we both can work from home. All in all, I'm thankful for what I have, and could not be more grateful to be able to share my life with the woman I love.